What's good, everybody? It's Big C from RBC, your favorite hillbilly on Twitch and YouTube. And today's video is going to be about Classic WoW and Shadowlands. We're going to look at the two different aspects of this game, how the versions affect one another, and the future that holds for these two as well. Before we get on into the video, I'd just like to say thank you to everybody who gave their condolences and prayers to my family. Some of you know lost a family member during the Thanksgiving holiday, and it's always a difficult time when something like that happens, and I just appreciate everybody's kindness during this period of time. Also, if you're not subbed to the YouTube channel, please, guys, we're 5 subs away from 300 subs, and I ask that you please let your friends know, let your family know if you enjoy WoW content or just hearing a hillbilly talk. Please join. Also, leave a like, a comment. It helps with growth, and it's great to interact with one another. I always try to leave a comment whenever you guys comment, and be sure to get that interaction going on. Also, I'm trying to get my Discord to grow and get it more active. Me and my friends are usually in it every evening. We're playing WoW, or they're playing Among Us, or Phasmophobia, or even League of Legends. So we do have various games that we play. Some of them even plays Call of Duty. I'm not a big Call of Duty fan. I don't play it. I still jump into Fortnite every once in a blue moon, and that's really about it. But let's go on and get into the meat and potatoes of today's video. So first off, I want to talk about Classic WoW and what's in store for the future of Classic WoW. I know a lot of us have not enjoyed Phase 5. AQ40 is not an exciting raid. Sure, it was great at first when it was released, but it's boring. It sucks, and it's ugly. It's an ugly raid, to be honest. You're underground, it's all sand, and there's bugs, and there's a few dog people walking around, and it's really, you got Cthulhu. It's really it. It's not great. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it initially, but I've been ready for Naxx for quite a while now, and Naxx is really the biggest go for me in Classic WoW. There's a lot of content I didn't get to experience during Vanilla WoW, and the point of me playing Classic is to enjoy the content that I didn't get to enjoy the first time around. And we all know that Naxx is literally right around the corner. It's going to be out Thursday. I am excited and ready for it. With that being said, what is the future for Classic WoW outside of Naxx? I have no clue how long Naxx is going to last. I believe it will end up lasting longer than 4 months. And a big reason why is the current success of Shadowlands. Shadowlands have sold more pre-orders than any other expansion in WoW's existence. A lot of people are hyped for Shadowlands. A lot of people are already enjoying the game. And I can understand why. And I'm going to go over those points later on in the video. But Shadowlands' success and how well it's doing will determine releases for Classic WoW. There has been a rumor going around. Mostly, I've only heard Neckrage say it, but, could be others that have, that there are going to be fresh Classic servers coming out. Now, I'm not sure how true it is. I don't see any reason why for him to lie about it, especially when he's trying to get organized for it and prepare for it. I do think it's going to legitimately release. And another reason for that is people have played vanilla private servers forever. So why would not Blizzard do their own fresh starts for people to enjoy, to run through the content again that enjoys doing it? And it's also not a bad business model for them. You want people to continue to play your game. The best way to do that sometimes is just to release the content again and let people enjoy it a second time around. It's obvious people have been doing this for years, so why should not Blizzard capitalize on something that's already been going on and use it to their advantage? So I do think that it's very possible for it to happen, but I think that once the fresh servers will come out, that it will push back the release of the Burning Crusade. I think in January or February, Blizzard will announce that they will be going into the Burning Crusade for Classic, but they'll also announce the fresh servers as well. Now, what's going to happen is it's going to force the Burning Crusade to be pushed back late 2021. Some of us speculated and thought that there'd be 4 months of Naxx, then next thing you know, the Burning Crusade's out, and I don't think that's going to happen, to be honest. Shadowlands is doing too well at the moment, and honestly, if the first raid in Shadowlands is legitimately good, and I'm hoping it is, Shadowlands is going to be the focus for Blizzard. And that's where all the resources and time is going to be poured into for obvious reasons. Retail is the long game for Blizzard when it comes to subs. And honestly, I think Shadowlands is great at the moment. I've really been enjoying playing Shadowlands. It's been a great experience so far. and I've just really enjoyed the game. The gameplay going from 50 to 60 and just everything that happened during that period of time, the experience was really great. The level squish felt fantastic, to be honest. It felt good going from 50 to 60. It made leveling enjoyable. And if anybody knows, I hate questing, I hate leveling. I don't really want anything to do with it. Eventually, I will level up alts, but I don't do it to the degree that other people do. I mean, I have a friend who has a max level of every class. That's not for me. Now, with that being said, not only does the level squish feel really good, the classes are feeling good wow too. Now, I only have a level 60 hunter at the moment, and I am running as marks in heroics and mythics, and I really, really do enjoy it. It feels super good. I just love it, honestly. Like, I'm really enjoying playing a hunter in Shadowlands. I have started leveling up my pally a little bit. I have tanked on it, and tanking honestly feels good as well. It's just not a brain dead, just go in, AoE everything. You don't, you just don't really take much damage and stuff. You really have to be thoughtful with your cooldowns. You have to pay attention to how many mobs that you pull and such, and it's making tanking, honestly, challenging again that I really, really missed. That's one reason why I quit tanking, was it just felt mind numbing and brain dead at some point. It wasn't nothing like it was for me during Wrath, where you had to actually be mindful about how you done things, pay attention to the healer's mana, and so much more. And I also have a friend who's playing a pally with me in retail and Storm Rage. He's actually loving it too. He's actually loving it. He's actually loving it too. He's playing a holy pally. He's healing, and he just loves it because it's so. And he really enjoys it because it's challenging again. The game kind of got mind numbing running through dungeons and stuff. It didn't really take a whole lot of skill. You just done your thing, and you didn't have to worry about managing anything. It was really brain dead experience. And that's what it was a really brain dead experience. And that's really what BFA done. There were so many bad points in BFA. Shadowlands is just so refreshing, and it just feels so good. Now, I have to say, I mentioned that leveling to 60 was actually enjoyable, and I loved it a whole lot. All the zones look great. They're beautiful. The art team actually killed it. Everything just looks so good. It was fun to explore the zones, and it was fun to do the quests for them. And some of the quests were actually unique and not necessarily something Blizzard's done before. Like they have, but it's just, they just added little different things to it to make it a better experience. At least it was for me. And I'll be honest with you too, going through the storyline and seeing these beautiful zones and stuff, and just kind of being in awe of it all a little bit, it really reminded me a lot of being in the Burning Crusade for the first time. I remember going through BC and just loving it. BC is one of the few expansions I actually legitimately loved playing and leveling again. And it was so good. And I just feel the same way about Shadowlands. I feel like that the zones and the experience really compares right now to the, at least leveling up for me, to what it was in the Burning Crusade for me. Something else that feels really good about Shadowlands is the dailies. You are just not ate up with dailies like you was in BFA. We was overwhelmed. You had the world quest, you had your dailies, and there were just so many things that was mandatory for you to do. The game wasn't alt friendly at all. You actually had to do it, and it got to the point where it felt like a chore. You just didn't want to do it anymore. I don't want to log onto a video game, that I used to play to, get my mind off things and whatnot, and be like, man, I just got so much to do in this game. I just don't feel like doing any of it. Well, you don't necessarily have anything that you really have to do in Shadowlands. Sure, you'll fall off if there's certain things that you don't do. You're just going to be behind, and that's going to suck. But at the end of the day, you're not overwhelmed with the amount of dailies and the amount of things that you absolutely have to do. It just feels good to have a better path in the game than what you used to have before. BFA, the amount of work that you had to put into the game to gear out your character, you had the war forging, the tiding forging, and all that other stuff. It just was a really, really bad time. One of the great features in the game is Torghast. It's a roguelike type experience put into WoW. It's something that you can do on your own, or you can do it with your friends. And while you're going through Torghast, you're going through the different levels of the tower, you get these additional abilities that you typically have, and they're just overpowered. They make you feel ridiculous. I was running this BM in one yesterday, and I got an ability where whenever Intimidate stuns an enemy, I get 100% crit for 6 seconds. You talk about burning stuff down and killing it. I didn't have any problems with any elites or rares. during that run, and it just felt really good. And it was kind of nice, to be honest. Now I really like it that you can do it as solo. Doing things with friends is great, but sometimes you just like to run off and do things by yourself and do it at your own pace. And it's just, at the end of the day, Torghast is just nice. And if it's something that you're not doing, you should be doing it. Honestly, it's kind of required too. It's kind of mandatory because of the legendaries, but still, it just feels nice. And I really do enjoy Torghast. I liked it better than what I thought I would. And it's something that, I look forward to continue doing in the game. That's something that I think is great, great, extremely great. Is you actually have a best in slot list. You didn't have that in BFA. Sure, you had some pieces of gear that was considered best in slot, where you had the War Forging and the Titan Forging and stuff. You just couldn't give your character a definitive path on how to gear it out. And right now, where people are focused on running heroics and mythics and doing other things, the raid's not out yet. We're preparing for the raid, and it's nice to actually have a clear path to know what you're planning for your character, what you're getting yourself into for that day, to know, well, I need to do these heroics, or I need to do these mythics. Hopefully this piece of gear drops. Sure, there's still an RNG element into it, but it's not as bad because there's no more of the stupid forging going on in the game. Honestly, the War Forging and the Titan Forging, it was a cool concept at first, but it got to the point where it just really made the game more, it got to the point that it kind of made the game toxic, to be honest with you. And it just wasn't as rewarding as it is now getting geared. Now that you have a clear path, what you need for your character before the raid, it feels good. And the same thing goes for PvP. Whenever you PvP'd in BFA, you done Battlegrounds, you might get lucky and get something good out of the little box that it gave you. And honestly, the loot boxes is probably the worst thing they've ever. It's not the worst thing, but it's definitely one of the worst things they've put into the game. I don't know what Blizzard was thinking. I know, like, for shooters and stuff, the loot boxes are really cool. There's hype for those and stuff, but it just didn't transition well into an MMO, especially when it came to PvP. And no doubt people who focus on PvP and love PvP and WoW are really excited about the changes, because now you just go up to a vendor and you get your gear and you see how much honor it takes, and then you can upgrade that gear through the same vendor and you can see how much honor that takes. It's just really nice to have a clear, definitive path that you can take with your character. It feels good whenever you get those pieces of gear too, because you know that you're reaching your goals as you prepare for raiding or whatever else that you might enjoy doing in the game. It's just nice to get back to the core of what WoW is. The core of WoW is PvP, dungeons, and raids. It's what it is. And it's just nice not to have all these gimmicky War Forging, Titan Forging, Azerite power, artifact power, corruption, and having all these things. It's nice not to have all those things in the game. You don't have to do all these world quests. You don't have all these dailies to do. You don't have island expeditions to run, which was horrible. They've just trimmed down so much stuff to let you enjoy the actual content of the game. And I'm not going to lie to you, I was on the fence about the Covenants, and I actually love the Covenant stuff. You're not hammered down with stuff that you have to do for your Covenant. You get one daily or maybe two. Well, you get a daily and you get a weekly. And that's it. That's it. You don't have to do world quests. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do that. And it just feels really, really nice. And whenever you go through the zones for the Covenants too, you get to learn more about them, and it helps you make your decision on which one that you decide to do. And honestly, I love it. In Night Fae, I've got two abilities that I really enjoy using. Whenever you're running Mythics and you need additional movement, the Soul Shape's actually really nice. And I've got a little thing in with my Soul Shape that whenever I Soul Shape, I get health back. So it's actually really nice, and it's useful. Not only for getting out of things, but also gives me some more health back. So it's a really good utility thing to have. I also really like having Wild Spirits. It's like a 2-minute cooldown, but the amount of damage that it does is actually kind of ridiculous, and it's great for those moments when you really need to be worrying about AoEing down a large group of mobs, or even using it during a boss fight. But I mainly use it for the mobs going up to the boss fight, and it's super nice. I just misdirect. I go crazy with the AoE damage, and I just love it. I don't know. It just feels so rewarding to play retail again. It's just so enjoyable because it's brought back the core of what makes WoW great. Blizzard's honestly, and if they continue on the path that they went on, They've made WoW great again. Feels good. The dungeons are extremely nicely. The dungeons are nice. They're fun. They're enjoyable. They're unique. They're beautiful. You have to do mechanics again. You just can't zerg through everything and zug it all down. It's just, it's nice. I'm loving Shadowlands, what I've played of it, and I can't wait to stream the raid for you guys. I streamed some Shadowlands content for you guys last week before I went on a break for Thanksgiving and family things. But you know, we'll be back. We'll be streaming Shadowlands. We'll be streaming Classic. We'll be on all the stuff for WoW. And I'm just excited. I'm honestly excited about WoW again. It's been a long time since I've been excited about retail. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the story continues to unfold in Shadowlands and all the various things that can happen. I have a ton of things that I want to know more about now. I want to experience that content now because I want to see what happens to different characters in the game and such. And I'm honestly ready to kill Sylvanas. I think she's a doo-doo head. You burn down the tree in Dornassus, you gotta go. Not no more. But all in all, I'm loving Shadowlands, and I can see why it's a concern with how classic content and the future of the Burning Crusade will be released. And honestly, I'm gonna play the Burning Crusade whenever it comes out. I will clear an axe. I will play the Burning Crusade. Right now, I'm going to be playing retail along with it all, and I'm just going to enjoy playing WoW, and I'm going to continue to bring out that type of content for you guys. Hope to see you guys in game. If you're wondering where I'm playing retail at, I'm actually playing Alliance on Storm Rage. I already had some level 50s on Storm Rage. Some of my friends did too. Granted, I have a few friends that's playing Alliance on other servers, which is perfectly fine because of the cross server stuff. It doesn't matter. You can still play together. And it's just a really nice server to be on. It's big. I found a guild to raid Mondays and Wednesdays on, so I can raid Shadowlands Monday and Wednesdays. I can raid Horde Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I can raid Classic Alliance on Fridays and Sundays. I had a friend tell me, like, you like to raid? I'm like, yeah. Raiding's the whole point of WoW for me. It's what I've always enjoyed. PvP is fun, and it's a nice break from dungeon grinding and raiding. But at the end of the day, I enjoy raiding. I enjoy the raiding content that Blizzard creates, and I'm really excited to see how these raids are going to be in Shadowlands. I see how good and how nicely done the dungeons are, so it really hypes me up for the raids too, and I really look for them to be done well. If they're not, I'll be disappointed. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching the video today. I really do appreciate it. Hope you guys stay healthy. Be careful out there. I'm Big C from more BC. Peace and God bless. I'm out.